Welcome in. My name is Rochelle, and this is Brampton Gardener. And tonight is going to be a little bit different, and we are going to go over a few fun facts. So I found this pretty cool book on herbs. If you happen to see my thumbnail ahead of time, and I was looking through it just to see. I had been at the health food store the other day, and I was walking through like all the teas and the herbs, and it's like they have so many things in there that we can actually grow at home, right? So I saw things for burdock and mullein and all kinds of stuff that people are growing, borage, whatever else. And so I'm like, you know what? I got to flip through that book I have at home and just so I did. Started looking, and then I had a question about something, so I went to the index at the back. And I started looking at some of the different names in here, and there are some very entertaining names, common names of herbs. And so it's one of the reasons why I am trying to, hey, Callie Pooh Bear, how are you? Welcome in. Good evening. How are you doing? Hopefully you guys are starting to get some relief out there in California. I know it's been really hot. A house puppy, and do we have a name yet? I forgot to get an updated picture so we can help identify the breed of a puppy bear. Okay, how about Pooh Bear? You got to pick something from Winnie the Pooh, maybe. I don't know. So I was flipping through the index, and I kind of was cracking myself up with some of these names, and I thought everyone else might enjoy them as well. So if you saw my thumbnail form tonight, the first one that I ran across is called there's a ton of different common names for it, but the two that cracked me up were, sorry, my hair is like sticking, piss a bed or piss in the bed. So I will leave that with you. If anyone cheated and looked it up, shame on you. But if you haven't, and you have any idea what herb or flower or plant that could possibly be, please drop your comments or your answer down into the questions. And I'm going to go through some of these because, oh my goodness, some of them are really funny. But it does, like, I was never big on, worrying about like the Latin names of plants because it never really mattered to me. But the more I see different areas can call the exact same plant by several different names. So most of the time there'll be like one plant and it has a certain Latin name, and then it will have tons of common names. And so sometimes people will argue, on different message boards or Facebook groups and gardening groups and be like, oh no, that's called this or that's called that. And they'll be like, no, that's this. And they're actually all right, because depending on where you're from and depending on the area you're in, Luck, Badger, Whiskey are the names we are calling him, and we think he is a brindle pit bull. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Is he, oh my goodness, he must be a bit to handle. So how old did you say he was, what, 2 months? Or because Dexter's at 10 months now, and he is getting better, but oh my God, he's still so hyper and has so much energy. Wear them out and make sure they always have something to chew. Dexter loves like the rawhide chews and their hoofs. And I don't know what animal they're from, but it's a hoof at the pet store, and they're $1. And he will chew and chew on that for the longest time. Like, he absolutely loves the hoofs. So, and they're super cheap. So we just buy them all the time. So I see Nicole has popped in. Hello, Nicole from Nicole's Garden. How are you? How's your weather been? We were cool this morning. I had to shut the window last night in bed. I was like, ooh, it's cold this morning. It warmed up throughout the afternoon, but I had to have a jacket on this morning, and I'm not happy about that. I mean, Lucy, okay, we have no idea how old he is. If you take him to a vet just to see, like, I don't know if he needs like deworming or whatever, they might be able to tell just by the teeth or something. They might be able to give you a better idea of the age on that, and when you might need to get him fixed, or if he needs shots or whatever. I don't know. So yeah, the first question up is, which plant or herb is known as piss in a bed or pee in the bed? I'll give you a few other clues. Same here. Last night, the temperature dropped way down, super windy, and didn't go above 17 all day. Yeah, I think we had a high of 16 or 17 today. It's supposed to get up back up to, I think, 24 on the weekend. So yay. You'll be going next week. Okay. Yeah, they should be able to give you a better idea on that. No clue. Okay, here's some other clues. Here are some other common. Okay, so here's the thing. When I was looking through, most of the time, like I was saying, there's like a Latin name and then a ton of different common names, and they usually refer to the same plant. Every once in a while, there are two common names that are the same that refer to completely different plants. So that is why, if you can, try to get used to at least knowing what the Latin name is for certain varieties of plants, especially if they're medicinal, because you don't want to like say, oh yeah, I use this plant by its common name where you're at, and then someone else gets a common name of a different plant from where they're at, and it could be disastrous. So always try and use the main name or the Latin name. But the Latin name on this one, no one would even know what it was. So, hey, Nicole, how are you? Welcome in, the other Nicole. And Idaho, Garden Girl. Hi, Brampton. I think corn silk tea is good for stopping in wetting the bed. Ooh, that's a very good guess. You know what? I'll look up corn. It's not the right answer, but I will look up corn silk in here later and we'll see what it's good for. So without further ado, the correct answer is dandelion. Dandelion. So other names dandelion is known for: lion's teeth, fairy clock, clock flower, clocks and watches, farmer's clocks, old man's clock, one clock, wetweed, blowball, cankerwort, lion's tooth, priest's crown, puffball, swine snout, white endive, wild endive, and pissabeds. Those are all different names. In Reich, we call it pissenlit. Oh, there you go. Very cool. I did not know that. I don't speak French. Very cool. But the actual, and I'm going to slaughter this, the actual Latin name for dandelion is Taraxacum officinale. So, yeah, I had no idea why it has all those different names. And it says dandelion is one of nature's great medicines, and it really proves that a weed is only a plant out of place. It is, in fact, one of the most useful of the herbs. It has become naturalized throughout the temperate regions of the world and flourishes on nitrogen-rich soils in situations up to 2,000 meters, or 6,500 feet. There is no satisfactory explanation why it is called dandelion, dense lion, tooth of lion in the medieval Latin, and dent de lion in French. The lion's tooth may be the taproot. So yeah, they have no idea why it has any of those names. It is also called pissabeds because it is referred to its diuretic properties. So but that's pretty cool. So there's different species. You can grow in containers. It has a little list here of different things you can do culinary wise with it, such as eating the greens, eating the flowers, dandelion wine, and then like the medicinal uses. So it's a pretty cool book. I've had it for a while and I kind of flip through it every once in a while. But it kind of talks about, so each herb in the book, it will talk about the species, cultivation, culinary, container, like what kind of growing you can do, medicinal, and then other uses. So that was our first one up. I'm just making sure I didn't miss any comments. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Oh, and I'm a ghost. It's not even October yet. There we go. And I'm back. And I'm blurry. All right. Okay. So the next one up is called baby's shoes or baby rattle. Now, I don't know why anyone would think that a baby's shoes and a baby rattle look anything alike, and I have no idea why I'm so blurry right now. I'm not blurry on my camera. I'm only blurry on the StreamYard version of it. Let me just stop, remove, and come. And we're still blurry. I'm just going to refresh the camera. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Are we better? I'm better. It's a little less blurry. Sorry about that. So yes, so this next herb, I don't think anyone's going to get it, but it's interesting. Baby shoes or baby rattle are the nicer versions of this plant name. It is also known as blind man's hands, dead man's bellows, and horse and hounds. Like, honestly, where do people come up with these names for herbs? So if anyone has any, I'll read through the rest of them. So it's also called, I won't give you the super common name. Baby shoes, baby's rattle, blind man's hand, carpenter's herb, dead man's bellows, horse and hound, thunder and lightning, and middle comfrey, but it's not comfrey. So if anyone has any ideas, I got nothing. I had nothing either. Bugle. Other names for it are creeping or common bugle and Nelson's bugle. And it is an ajuga. And I've heard a lot of these Latin names only because I watch Laura at Garden Answer, and she does use a lot of Latin names in her plantings because she worked at the nursery. And so that has actually helped me with like pronunciations and knowing like the common names and the other, because she does use both. So it's very informative. Yeah, I have no idea why they call it that. It says among many folk tales associated with bugle is that its flowers can cause a fire if brought into the house. That's interesting. It is an evergreen hardy perennial. So ajugas are very pretty. I see a lot of people using them in their gardens. It kind of looks like this is Ajuga Reptons is the Latin name. It kind of looks a bit like a salvia, kind of a stocky kind of a flower with blue flowers. Medicinal uses, an infusion of dried leaves in boiling water is thought to lower blood pressure and to stop internal bleeding. Nowadays, it is widely used in homeopathy in various preparations against throat irritation, especially in the case of mouth ulcers. It is also used as cattle fodder. So that's interesting. It can be grown in containers. Not as many things on it as like the other one. And this one on the other side, we have aloe vera, which everyone knows is good for your skin. I know bugleweed. I could have guessed ajuga. Dang it. I'm sorry. Yeah, if I'd given you know what? I'll do that next time. I'll try and see if anyone can think of the Latin name before I say what it is. So we can all learn to start practicing and get familiar with the Latin names. And if I mispronounce anything, please let me know, because a lot of these I haven't heard before and some of them I have. So yeah, I don't know why you would call something bugleweed or baby shoes, baby's rattle, also dead man's bellows, like baby and dead man. Okay. Hey, Carbs Homestead, welcome in. I have a ton of this stuff. Didn't know it was medicinal. I'll have to do some more reading on this one. Very helpful. Yeah, it looks like it's not like a, it says the young shoots of it can be mixed in salads to give you a different taste. Not mine. That's what it says. So this person is not a fan of the taste, but it is edible. So maybe go light. It says it also makes a good outdoor container plant. Use the bark peat mix of compost. So, and you can use it in hanging baskets. I don't know if I've ever really seen it in hanging baskets so much, but that is ajuga. So, okay. So next one that I had picked out, I just got lazy. I just wrote the page number. Okay, 158. So now I'll have to go and look and see, and I will read out what I think you guys won't be able to guess right off the bat as the common names for some of these. And it's starting to get dark in here. Okay, so this one here. Oh, yes. Okay, so this one you all know. And you'll probably know the Latin name as well if you think about it. It is called Abraham. It's also called Isaac and Jacob, also known as Adam and Eve. Also known as, oh, not that one. That one's too easy. Beggar's Basket, Children of Israel, Good Friday Plant, Lady's Milk, Lady's Mary's Tears, Spotted Mary, Thunder and Lightning, Virgin Mary, Virgin Mary's Milk Drops, and Virgin Mary's Tears, Spotted Bugloss, Jerusalem Sage. And that's all I'm going to say, because the rest are pretty... Oh, and Jerusalem Cowslip. Hey, welcome in, Katie. It is a very biblical plant. It has lots of medicinal uses. But yeah, it's just like it's a very biblical plant. It is in the Aborigine family. It says family Aboriginaceae. I just slaughtered that. Bug loss sounds really familiar. Hey, Chuck. Hey, who's saying hi to Chuck? Oh, Chuck's not in here anymore. He left. He came in. He's leaving it running, but you can say hi to Chuck. Maybe he'll watch it on the replay. Hey, welcome in, Sam from the Weekend Garden Show. The lady with the most beautiful smile on YouTube. I noticed that when you were with Lydia on the Whoop Whoop show. You have a lovely smile. Lights up the room. Okay, so without further ado, it's Lungwort. So Lungwort is a horrible name for an actually very beautiful plant. And can anyone guess what the Latin? Oh, and I got white again. The Latin name for Lungwort. Does anyone know the Latin name? Hi, Nicole. I just watched your video earlier with that pretty pepper. Is that one spicy? Yeah, I want to know too. I'm growing an all white one, and I don't know. I keep forgetting to look it up and see how long I need to. How big is it supposed to get, and how hot is this thing going to be when I actually pick it? But yours is so pretty. I love those purple shoulders. Ah, you're welcome. Nicole saying hi to everybody. Yeah, so a lungwort. Does anyone know the Latin name for lungwort? Okay, Nicole keeps claiming she knew everything after the fact. Oh, you knew it was lungwort. Dang it. See, I've never heard of bug loss. I've never heard of that, right? Which I think is kind of cool. So like, we have gardeners from all different regions here, right? So we should be getting some people at this point, like with different common names for things. She knows nothing about the ahi cachucha. I don't know how to pronounce that. You'll update once you try it. Hopefully it's super spicy. Do it on camera. I have a silly number of pepper ready. I know. Yep. I had one the other day and I picked it thinking it was a shishito because it was right next to my shishitos, and it was like really weird tasting, kind of really, really green. And then I realized I had picked a baby New Mexico 6 and it was not ripe yet. It wasn't bad, but it just tasted very green. I was like, this is not what I thought it was. Yeah, so I still have some mystery peppers that I'm finding. So lungwort is the Latin name is Pulmonaria officinalis. So pulmonaria, it is good for the lungs. So yes, medicinal lungwort is a soothing expectorant. The silica it contains restores the elasticity of the lungs. Externally, it has been used for healing of all kinds of wounds. So, and then harvesting. Oh, this one's got like 2 pages of information. Not 3 pages. I have to go to the next. Nope, it doesn't go to the next page. 2 pages. Pick the leaves after flowering in the summer and dry for medicinal use. So that's very handy. And it's a very pretty flower. I don't know. It's called lungwort because of the lungs and all that, but it seems like they wouldn't have had to add a wart at the end, but whatever. I'm not the one naming these things, obviously. Okay, next up. I feel so shamed for knowing nothing about these things. Don't feel shame that I didn't know either. That's why we're all learning. We're all learning. This one here. Okay, this one. Also known as, so I'm not going to say the main name. It's kind of like password, not password, but what's the other one? Like taboo, where you can't say the actual name. Okay. Oh, sorry. There we go. And hopefully I don't go blurry again. Okay. So also known as our ladies' bunches of keys, St. Peter's keys, bunch of keys. I'm skipping over stuff that I might think might give it away. Cove keys, freckled face, golden drops, herb Peter, hot rod, long legs, nook maidens, whatever that means, Titsy Totsy. I think that's my favorite of the names for this, and I think it sounds way better than the actual plant. St. Peter's herb, Pygale, Fairbells, Fairy Cups, Keys of Heaven. That's all I'm going to say on that. Anyone heard any of those referring to any kind of plants? I love Tootsie Tootsie. I think that's hilarious. I have no idea what a Nook Maiden is. But apparently it looks like a bunch of keys because there's so many different ones from keys. It is used mainly in salads and for meat stuffing. You can use the flowers in wine and salads. It's good for bronchitis and all kinds of other lung remedies as well. The common name is cowslip. Yeah, I'd never heard any of the. Ooh, St. John's wort. That's a good guess. Since we were kind of on the whole religious theme on this one as well, but no. Cowslip. And does anyone know what the Latin name for cowslip is, or the family? So it's the family or the Latin name. I'll show you a picture though, if you can see it here. It looks like this. I guess I can see why they call it like a bunch of keys. It looks like a janitor's key ring, kind of a bunch of, they all coming out of the top here like this. And then the leaves here, they look, yeah, they kind of look like a spinach or whatever kind of a leaf. So the Latin name for that is Primula veris. So it is a primula in the primula family. It can be grown in containers, but it is not happy. It is happy in a container on a windowsill or a patio. Oh, okay. It's a wild plant. It does not thrive inside, but you can put it on a container. Midday shade, gets some shade at midday. All right. Some species of primula, though, can cause a form of contact dermatitis characterized by a violent vascular eruption in the fingers and forearms. Hypersensitive individuals should avoid these plants. So I know that there are a few plants. So this is cowslip. I know some kinds of euphorbia can cause that with people. And there's another bulb. It was at hyacinths. I think hyacinths can cause that kind of a reaction to your fingers. Good guess. Good job. Sorry, I missed your comment. I didn't see it on there. Primula. I don't know how to say I know how to say primula, but Primula Kea? Primulacula? I don't know. I just slaughtered that. Okay, so the next, oh my God, this next one made me laugh so hard. I was like, what? And what emphasis of this phrase, which word does the emphasis go on? Okay, so then I'm sorry, I'm like really high, bright and shiny again. Yikes, gloves are a must with that plant. Yeah, it depends on the person, I think, right? Some people are really sensitive to some things and some people aren't. I know I was watching, I think it was it was either You Can't Eat the Grass or Flower Hill Farm, and they were talking about how some people have a real reaction to certain plants. They don't themselves, they're fine with it, but other people do, so they have to be careful of putting it in bouquets or whatever. Okay, so this next one is called God's Stinking Tree. So, is it God's stinking tree or God's stinking tree? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the emphasis goes on that one, but I started laughing so hard. I was like, what? So apparently it's a fragrant tree. Yeah. So it is also known as bound tree, boon tree, dog tree, Judas tree, God's stinking tree, scores, score tree, and then the rest are the actual have the name in it. Yeah. Hey, Jody Young, you watched it on that one. It was Nicole. Okay, so it was Nicole from Flower Hill Farms. I knew I should have known you would know because I see Nicole in all the same videos because she is a flower farmer. So she follows You Can't Eat the Grass. She follows Nicole at Flower Hill Farm, and she follows Jesse at Living on a Prayer Flower Farm. Oh my God, Jesse! Every time she posts a video, I don't know if we're gonna cry or laugh, and sometimes we do both. She's so funny though. She is so impetuous. Ooh, ginkgo, that is stinky. That's a good guess. Dogwood or a cornice. Oh, hold on. No. I forgot I have my button. No. Okay. No. So it's also known as black elder, black berried, European elder, Elhorn, and German elder. So it is the elder plant. And does anyone know the Latin name of the elder plant, the black elder plant? And I knew this one more as the Latin name, because that's what Laura uses on her channel. So it's just elder. I don't know if it's actually elderberry. It doesn't say, it says blackberried. It doesn't say elderberry in here. So I'm assuming it's related. There we go. You better not be Googling this. No Googling, Idaho girl. You got to know this. Hey, Digging for Health, Andrea, welcome in. Thanks so much for coming. No cheating. You have to try and guess. Yeah, so it's medicinal uses. For culinary, berries should not be eaten raw, nor fresh juiced used. You have to make sure you cook it very slightly first. But elderflower cordial. So I guess it is. I don't know why it doesn't say elderflower on here, but you can make a cordial out of it with water, sugar, lots of sugar, lemon, cider, and flower heads. You can also use it to whiten and soften the skin and remove freckles. The fruits make a lavender or violet dye when combined with alum. Medicinal uses are for bronchial and upper respiratory and are used in the treatment of hay fever. Oh, I could use that. Oh, and I'm white again. Sorry about that. I keep ghosting out on everybody. Hey, Tiny Tim, welcome in. Hopefully I don't miss anything as I'm reading. Yeah. So it also has a reputation for treating rheumatism and gout. This sounds awesome. I think it sounds like it would taste terrible though. Oh no, I've had elderflower syrup. I've had elderflower. You can get it at IKEA, the elderflower. So yeah, it tastes good. I don't know why it's called so stinky. So yeah, so elder, Sambucus, otherwise known as God's stinking tree. So next time you're at the garden center and you want to have a bit of fun, feel free to use any one of the other common names for any of these plants, because I think that would be hilarious to ask them. I'm here. I'm looking for God's stinking tree somewhere. What aisle is it in? Is it near Judas's Tears? Somewhere in there. Yeah. All right. So the next one I had was, this one had so many names, and actually it was very surprising to me, the medicinal uses. I had no idea. Okay. Actually the main name for it is not one that I had heard before. You've never noticed they were stinky? I don't know. Maybe just to God. He must have a very sensitive nose. I don't know. Or else someone else wanted the tree and they're like, no, you can't have that tree. And he got bitter about it, Okay, so this one, the main common name at the top, I've never heard it referred to as that. But there's some funny names in here as well. Also known as Bullock's Eye, Jupiter's Eye, Jupiter's Beard, Live Forever, Thunder Plant, Aaron's Rod, Healing Leaf, Mallow Rock, and Welcome Husband, Though Never So Late. Yes, that is actually the common name of this plant. Welcome Husband, Though Never So Late. I'd never heard any of these. I've only ever heard of it by its Latin name, and it's the one common name. I'd never heard any of these other ones. You like my... I think so. I think someone was bitter. They wanted it. It wasn't theirs. It was God's stinking tree, not theirs. Okay. So we have a guess for Valerian. N-O. I think so. I heard Jupiter's Beard. Can't remember the plant though. Dang it. See, it's not anything you're thinking. I'm pretty sure it's not anything you're thinking. I've heard of Jupiter something, and it was not this. The main name for it, like the big name across the top is called house leek. Leek, not leak. House leek is the official common name for it. Jupiter's Beard is what I heard too. Okay. Yeah, also known as chicks and hens. House leek, chicks and hens. So on this one, I don't know which which one I prefer. Bullock's eye, Aaron's rod. And some of these, I think they're getting the name for when they start to flower. If you've ever seen them, they get a very long, tall. Yeah. Yeah. And welcome husband, though never so late. So what is the Latin name for, yes, Sempervivum. Yep. Sempervivum chicks and hens is a poppy, the kind that makes OPs. Chicks and hens, there's a form of poppy that's called chicks and hens variety. And that's because when the seed pod looks like this kind of chicks and hens, it's named after this plant. That one. Hey, Andel, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? But I did not know that there were any culinary or medicinal uses to chicks and hens. So culinary, they can be added to salads. I think it would be polite to say that it is an acquired taste. I love the author of this book. They're so funny. But yes, for medicinal leaves, the leaves are an astringent. And when broken in half, can be applied to burns, insect bites, and other skin problems. Press the juice from the leaf into the infected part. My son, when he goes on hikes or in his building dens, how old is her son? Always has some in his pockets. Great for clothes washing. For when he gets stung by nettles, they are much better than docks when rubbing in. To soften skin around corns, bind one leaf for a few hours, soak foot in water and attempt to remove corn. Repeat as necessary. You can also infuse as tea for septic throats, bronchitis, and mouth ailments. It is said that chewing a few leaves can ease toothache. So you could almost, it seems like you could use, sorry. I don't know why my camera, I think it's dark in here. Yeah. So I had no idea that these little chicks and hens that are growing, and they're very hardy. They always die for me. I have to go steal more every year, but my neighbor, my friend up the street, she has a huge patch of beautiful chicks and hens in her yard that come back every year. So I think it says here that they are hardy. Where does it say about them? It's a hardy evergreen perennial. And does it say? Doesn't say how. It's very hardy though. I know it's at least a zone 5 because that's where we are here. And they do spread by seed, which they will send up in a very long flower spike, and then they set off. So here, if you haven't seen them when they go to seed, they do this. This is them on this side. They actually look like it looks like something under the water, right? It almost looks like some kind of sea creatures. But this is what. So they start out. They look like this. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. So they look like this all the time. This is how we're used to seeing them, and then all of a sudden they will grow this flower spike, and it goes. And then it has a bunch of little flower heads at the end. Aw, thanks, Katie. Well, I'm not very good at it because they always know. I'm like, I'm just going to come over and sneak some. She always has way too many. And I don't feel bad because I go and then I went and I gave her a bunch of petunias and coleus. And what else did I give her? I gave her a can of lilies, and I gave her one of my hibiscus that I divided, and some of the alyssum and lobelia. So I went over and helped her plant it up in the front because I had some extras. So I go and I borrow. I don't really borrow it. I steal it. And it's so funny because I'm like, she'll be like, oh yeah, go ahead and do it. Cause I was like, oh, I needed some for when I did that little, my little container garden thing. And she was working, and I didn't want to wait because she was working. She works shift work, right? And so she wasn't going to be off until like 11:30. And I was like, I want to get it done this afternoon and film it. So she's like, yeah, go ahead, whenever, right? So I'm over there. I'm like, how weird does this look? Like I've just come walking up the street with my little bag and a shovel, and I go and I start digging out a bunch of chicks and hens, and I just leave. Probably not any more suspicious than when I went and got her Amazon box. They were on vacation, and she messaged me. She was like, oh, we just got an Amazon delivery. Can you go pick up the box? So I said, oh, sure, no problem, right? So I walk. It's like it's like a block or so away. I go up and around the corner, and I go and I pick it up, and I start walking back, and I'm like, this looks super like who walks around with an Amazon box? So then we were laughing that I'm like, the porch robber. I said, well, they see me stealing your plants and now your Amazon packages. They're probably not surprised. So yeah, I had no idea that chicks and hens were also known as house leek and all these other bizarre terms. No idea. Okay, so this other one, this one has the funny ones too. So hopefully I haven't missed anyone coming in. Annie, hey, welcome in Annie's Urban Homestead. Annette and SNMJ's Garden. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Yeah, so if anyone sees me miss someone coming in, just yell at me and say, hey, you forgot to say hi to so-and-so. Okay, so the next one up was page 211. So we'll pop over there. So yeah, these were ones that I was laughing about. So I was super mature by going through the index and just picking out names that I thought were funny or slightly inappropriate. So, okay. So this one, again, I had never heard like the official big name on it be called this. I've only ever heard it called by the other, also known as. Okay, so this one's going to throw everybody off. It is not what you're thinking when I tell you this. Love lies bleeding. It is not the one you're thinking of. Okay, love in idleness, herb trinity, Jack behind the garden gate, kiss me behind the garden gate, kiss me love at the garden gate, kiss me quick, monkey's face. Like, these names are hilarious. It just like it jumps around so much. 3 faces under a hood, 2 faces in a hood. And I can't say that in the next one. So I don't know what Jack's doing, but Jack's kissing quickly behind the garden gate. I had never heard any of these common names. Yeah, nope, it's not. So I know you're thinking amaranth because there is one called Love Lies Bleeding. It's the one with the big draping, blooms, I guess. Yeah, it's blooms stock. Yeah, so this is what I'm telling you. It's especially when you're dealing with anything medicinal or herbal related, or you're making teas or anything like that. Make sure you're using the Latin names because some of the common names can be used for more than one thing. Although amaranth is also edible, you can eat the seeds, right? Monkey face, I think monkey face is cute. I only know the one I'm thinking of. Well, it's not that one. No, it's also okay. Oh, the official big name along there is called Heart's Ease. I had never heard of a plant called Heart's Ease. It is a wildflower that grows in Europe and North America, growing on wasteland and in fields and hedgerows. In the Middle Ages, due to the influence of Christianity and because of its tricolor flowers, white, yellow, and purple, Heart's was called Trinitaria herb and blessed Trinity. In traditional language of flowers, the purple form meant memories, the white loving thoughts, and the yellow souvenirs. It is none other than your viola. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting nearly enough action as my violas. Apparently, I don't know what's going on out there. Maybe that's why they're so happy this year. I don't know. Pansy, you know that one? Yeah, I had no idea. So it's called wild pansy, field pansy, love lies bleeding, love and idleness. Sorry. Herb trinity, Jack behind the garden gate, kiss me. A lot of kissing going on in this garden. And monkey face, yeah. And then 3 faces under a hood, so I can kind of see that the way that they're put together like that. So I'm pretty sure we all know that the flowers are edible. You can use them as the flowers to add them to salads or desserts. It says, hi, Joe. I just saw you pop in. How are you? Welcome in. Thanks so much for coming. It says an infusion of the flowers has long been prescribed for a broken heart. No idea. Never heard that. Less romantically, it is also a cure for bedwetting. That could explain why you have the broken heart. I don't know. I'm just saying. Buddy was tired of the wet in the bed. An ointment made from it is good for eczema and acne, and also for curing milk rust and cradle cap. I'm not sure what milk rust is. I would never have guessed. Viola. Hey, Joe. Joe walked in on yeah. I will never look at my violas the same again. Dexter must have known. Dexter's always trying to kiss me up by the garden gate. Yeah, it says herbalists use it to treat gout, rheumatoid arthritis, and respiratory disorders. An infusion of Heart's Ease leaves added to bath water has proved beneficial to sufferers of rheumatic diseases. Warning, in large doses, it may cause vomiting. So it's also used in cleansing the skin and shampooing thinning hair. Yeah. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. It was like I had no idea about any of that. I just knew that they were pretty and you could add them into salads or whatever. And I got to figure out why it keeps doing that. Okay. Oh, and what is the viola is the Latin name for it. Next one up I have was page number 86. We're flipping back. Oh, Solomon seal. Like there's so many, like this book has evening primrose. Like there's so many things in here that like just grow in your garden. You don't even think about. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, they're medicinal. Okay. Now I am growing this. I'm growing this in the back. I had never heard of the Latin name on this one. I don't think so. Okay. It's also known as New Mode Hay, Rice Flowers, Ladies in the Hay, Kiss Me Quick, Master of the Wood, Woodward, and Woodrowell. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the lady's in the hay, but apparently she's trying to get kissed. That's all I know. And then Master of the Wood. Okie dokie. Any guesses? Miss Ann's gonna be blushing soon. Any guesses? Master of the Wood. Yes. Yeah. Any guesses what plant this could be? It is a native of Europe and has been introduced and cultivated in North America and Australia. It grows deep in the woods and in hedgerows. Records date back to the 14th century when it is used as a strewing herb on bed stuffing and to perfume linen. Ooh, I'm starting to understand the name now. Yeah. It is also, I think it's also can be quite invasive. So I do have some growing. It likes a nice shady spot. Any guesses? Any guesses? No one's guessing? Did my chat freeze up? Because I don't see anyone guessing. Oh no, Anne's just laughing. Okay. It is another name for sweet woodruff. So if you don't know what sweet woodruff is, I don't know if you can see it in the picture here. It's not a very good picture of it down here. It is like a low growing ground cover. It grows about 6 to 8 inches high and it blooms in springtime. And it's very pretty little blooms, but it spreads. It spreads really, really fast. And I don't mind that because of where I put it. But I don't think it will spread as much like if it gets more sun. So it stays in the nice shady areas. Let's see. It's warning. Consumption of large quantities can produce symptoms of poisoning, including dizziness and vomiting. But the medicinal tea is used to relieve a stomach ache, act as a diuretic, and be beneficial for people prone to gallstones. So in small doses, it helps with your stomach ache. In large doses, it creates one. So just so you know. But apparently, yeah, it was traditionally used because it's sweet woodruff. It does smell very nice. It was dried and used as what did it say? How did it say it? To add as bed stuffing. So that was back when they would put like straw and horsehair and whatever else in the bed stuffing. So they would add the sweet woodruff so that you weren't repulsed when you went to bed. Right. And I think that's all the ones that I had just I had grabbed ahead of time. There were a lot in here that just that like I hadn't heard of before, but they weren't as funny. So I do have some more herbal quizzes, but I thought I'd just sit and chat for a few minutes, see how everyone is doing this week. Anyone have anything exciting they want to share? Any wins in the garden this week that they want to share, or just in life? One good thing, right? One good thing that's happened to you. She Googled it. It's cool. It's very nice. I have it. Just be careful. It can be kind of invasive, but it might depend on where you're at. But it's also very hardy because it grows really well for me here. And I've spread some up on the neighbor's portion up there. I really hope it takes over there. Oh, I forgot to tell you the Latin name for that one, didn't I? We'll go back. 86. Latin name. The Latin name for that is Gallium asperula. Never heard of that before. So it says, yeah, you can add the flowers to salads. Main ingredients for a modern day May wine would be a bottle of hock, a glass of sherry, sugar, and strawberries with a few sprigs of woodruff thrown in 1 hour before serving. Oh, here, I missed this whole part on the harvest. The true aroma, which is like new mode hay, comes to the fore when it is dried. So dry flowers and leaves together in early summer. I'm gonna have to try that. And I've never even really used them in a flower bouquet because they bloom in spring and I don't really have anything else going at that time. Maybe tulips or something, but I don't cut my tulips to make bouquets. I just don't have enough to risk cutting them. And it can grow in a container, but yeah. So let's see what's going on with everyone this week. Oh my goodness, Nicole, that is sorry. That is the best news ever. Oh my goodness, that's going to give your plants a chance. Now, do the vine borers go after like the melons, like your Kajari melons? Could they be at risk? I hope not. We are planting most of the fall garden now. It's so strange going from summer from fall. That's exciting. Yeah, you actually have. I'm not really like I planted. I don't know. It's going to be my fall garden, but I wouldn't even say I planted a fall garden. I would say mine was more succession planting because I think when did I do it? I did a video on it. It was like in July. I think it was I think it was like end of July. I went and planted a bunch more greens. So the peas are like 3 feet tall now. They're doing really good. I don't have any blooms on them yet. So I hope I get something off of that. And then some of my spinach is coming up, my arugula, my lettuce, things like that. When I planted them, they are coming in. Hey, Jesus Loving Homesteader, how are you? Your cocozelle and butternut squash have both been prolific. So excited. Ooh, what is a cocozelle? I've never heard of that. I'm assuming it's a squash of some kind. That sounds really cool. Hello, Nicole saying hi. I have seen eggs on the Conjaris before, but nothing lately. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we have vine borers up here. I just have never seen one. I've never had them because I've never really grown squash or anything. So I hope I'll be growing squash. Hey, you made it. How are you doing, you grower? Welcome in. Nice to see you tonight. It's a zucchini variety that the borers can't handle. Ooh, did you hear that, Nicole? Because Nicole, oh my goodness, she's got so many bugs. Oh, who was it? I watched a video on Instagram, and they had their stuff was covered in leaf-footed bugs, and I was just like, oh, it was so gross. Yeah, yeah, my squash, my cucumber plant, which has totally been covered with the tomato plants. They've shaded it out. It's only about maybe a foot tall, but it has a bloom. There's a yellow bloom on my cucumber. I'm like tempted to go grab one of my like loofahs and just cross pollinate it just to see if I can at least get one lemon cucumber to grow this year. I don't know. I don't know how long they take once they're pollinated. So your weather is definitely an amazing year for squash. That's my big win. That's awesome. I finished up the last week of my bouquet subscription this week. Woohoo! So your CSA is done, but are you still going to be doing the farmer's market like until frost? I'm assuming. Luckily, you don't have vine borer there. I don't know if we have it here. I've never really grown anything that they would be attracted to yet. So hopefully they won't find me. Summer is still in summer mode. Yeah. Get big baby potatoes. Oh my God. There was this lady. She grew her sweet potato and she showed a picture of it. I'm trying to find something in here that's like an equivalent size of her sweet potato. Oh, this might work. It was about this size. Oh, without the thread. Her sweet potato was about this size. Little, tiny, tiny sweet potato. It was the cutest little thing you ever saw. And then she cut it in half, put it on a plate, and put 2 of the tiniest little dots of butter on this sweet potato. I was dying. Because the first picture, I was just laughing because it was so tiny. And then when I clicked on the second picture and I saw the butter, I lost it. It was the funniest, cutest thing I have ever seen. You must get some of that. Vine bars took out. Oh, no. Yeah, you guys really struggle with those. Oof. Not long. I don't know what that was referring to. The leaf-footed bugs have almost killed my oh no, not the zucchini. Drumbangino zucchini. It survived the borer attack, but those leaf-footed bugs have covered it. Oh my god. Aha, not long. That was for the thank you. I was like, squirrel. Nope, done that too. Oh, okay. I teach days 6 days a week starting this past Monday. Oh, okay. So you are busy. You're like done. You're done. Who was it? Lisa? Oh, Lisa at Yogi Hollow Farm. We were talking the other day on Instagram and she was like, oh yeah, we might be getting a frost soon. And then she's like, I don't want winter to come, but I don't mind a frost because then that means I have left to I don't have as much to worry about harvesting. So I love that she enjoyed her harvest. Oh, she did. She milked it. She milked it and it was hilarious. I don't know how many comments and likes it went viral. It was hilarious. So very cute. So yeah, you guys go find this squash that they don't like. I know I've heard about using like the Mother Hubbard squash. Is apparently a Hubbard squash is like super, like vine borers like love this. So you're supposed to like use it as a trap crop. So you plant it away from the good stuff out in the field, and then you're supposed to attract all of the pests to those because they like them better than anything else. So I've heard that. I don't know how well it works, and I've never tried it. I've never grown the squashes. I've never seen the bugs. Here we go. Oh, so they have super strong stem. Oh, okay. So, hey, Jesse, welcome in. Thank you so much. Yeah, give that a try. And yeah, you might try it next year. Yeah, maybe just even plant it like around your property, like away from the lure them, or like the opposite side, maybe where you have your tomatoes or something. Might be a good idea. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So I did look it up for Nicole because I was watching James Pirioni. I don't know if you watch him. He's got a channel. He is so funny and he is so full of energy. And if eating all of your own produce makes you that hyper and that healthy, I'm all for it. He grows in Jersey. James Pirioni, here from Jersey. Him and his dog Tuck. But he was talking about his one of his fruit trees. So he puts in his sprayer in the spring, and it's a mixture of kale and clay and water, and he mixes it up and then he sprays the trees with it, and it coats it with this like a fine clay, and it prevents the bugs from like biting into it or getting through to it. And so that's the way to like naturally protect the tree. So then I had just seen him do that video, and then Nicole was complaining about her leaf-footed bugs. And so I was like, I wonder if something like that would work. And I did look it up where it said that, yes, you can use kale and clay as well, like a water mixture just to spray it. And it will like form like a coating on the squash vines that help prevent the bugs from getting in there. I just thought that's an interesting idea. Oh, really? No, Tuck is adorable. I don't know if you watched the video the other week. He was like doing a big harvest video and he pulled out like these I think it was like a dark purple carrot. It was maybe the nebula carrot or something. And he tried to give one to Tuck, and Tuck was like, no, thank you. And he goes, oh, I guess he's not hungry or doesn't want one or whatever. So they go around to the other side of the garden, and Tuck was right in there. He wanted the orange carrot. Exactly, just like an M&M. Melts in your mouth, not in your hands. Yeah, so like that, a little bit of a shell candy, or maybe you could just go with like magic shell. But that might just attract ants. I don't Never mind, don't do that. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. But yeah, I thought that was so funny. Tuck was like, yeah, you can go ahead and eat these black carrots. I ain't touching those. I want the real ones. Yeah, I love watching him go out. I can't wait till Dexter is a little bit more like calm and can just be there with me in the garden and not me yelling at him the whole time. So we'll see how next season goes. He has been pretty good. Like he hasn't really he stepped on a few plants early in the season, but he hasn't really ruined anything or dug anything up. So we have been lucky for that. He usually just basically tries to knock me down all the time when I'm out there. I'll be standing there watering and he loves to come up right behind you, and his height is just right at the back of your knees. So you just buckle, right? And you're on the hill. I don't know how many times I've almost gone flat because stupid dog comes up and jumps and knocks me off my feet. Thanks, Jesse, dropping all the links. Yeah, so if you had come in after everyone had started, I was just gonna have everyone post one, but not just one. You can post as many as you want, but if you can't, if you're struggling to come up with something, come up with at least one good thing that's happened this week. And if you have any like good harvests that are coming, any good recipes. Speaking of good recipes, I watched Lisa and Jesse made a lovely, well, Lisa made a lovely bean soup. Well, Jesse watched on with the camera, and it looked really good. It looked nice and tasty. Hey, Frosty Lone Wolf, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? I am really enjoying Souptember. Although I called it in my head, I was saying Souptober, and I tried to look up that hashtag. It does not work. It's Souptember. We got more. Oh gosh, more mail. Seriously, seriously, seriously. Good grief! I told you you're going to end up having. And when I said it, I didn't mean I want it. I just said you're going to have to start a weekly mail call because y'all get so much stuff in the mail. You got 2 watermelons. Yay! If Nicole was in here, I mean, Danny, if Danny was in here, she would be bragging about her little baby Kajari melon. So I'm really hoping she, oh God, I hope she gets at least one of those to get ripe, right? He does a great job filming. Too bad Lisa keeps butting in, right? Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. Lisa photobombing. Ay, ay, ay. Gosh, we had really great luck with watermelons this year. Oh, my watermelon plant is still about, I don't think it's even 2 feet long. And I don't think I've even seen any flowers on it. And where I planted it, like everything's just outgrowing it. I moved it. I've moved that one twice. And now the canna lilies and the amaranth in the area have shaded it out again. So I'll try again next year, but I don't know. Okay, whoa, nice. 2 surprises in the garden, a big watermelon. Oh, nice. And the cachucha. Cachucha. Yeah, that was funny. It was just hiding in there. You're like, what? I'm going to try the pepper sauce that Hands in the Dirt posted today. However, I was already planning on doing it, but didn't know how to. Awesome. That sounds really good. I'll have to go check that video out. Too late now. Frost will kill off the watermelon plant, so no time to get big and ripen. Well, yeah. Danny's hoping. She is warmer than I am. She's in a warmer zone than I am. And she's near Boston. So she's very near the water. So then hopefully then she will have a lot of times they have like a more temperate. They don't get as yeah. Thank you. Gracias. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Yes. I'm like Jesse. Ay, ay, ay. I am fluent. Your first, Brazilian starfish pepper. Ooh, that sounds spicy. Starfish pepper. I never heard of that. Okay, we're done now. I don't know anymore. My Spanish is very rusty. And we used to go to Cuba in the winters, and I was always like, oh, next year I'm going to brush up on my Spanish before I go. And then every time I'd be like sitting in the airport going, dang, I was going to brush up on my Spanish. So then I'm like sitting in the airport with my Duolingo, going through as many lessons as I can. I think some things are probably maybe not meant to be in certain climates, which is probably why we don't have a lot of mango trees growing in Canada. But don't stop. I'm going to try again next year. I don't plan on ever getting mangoes off of it, of course. I'm not even going to put that thought in my head. But I am going to I'm going to try it again and at least use it in containers. But I have heard that it's fairly easy to grow from seed, start that sprout. It sprouts within the first month. And then, by 2 months, you'll have like a nice little plume on it. But then after that, it's very difficult from month 3 to 4. It just, right? Yeah, if it's nice and hot. And I gave her some tips. So she's going to be fertilizing the heck out of that. And I'm like, bury any extra vines that you can pull down off of it, root them in, get them growing as much, pull anything else off you can. I don't know if like pruning the ends of it would be a good idea or not. But yeah, I hope she can. Yeah. I didn't have any problem with the fungal infections, but that's probably because I used the hydrogen peroxide in with the pits when I had them, and I didn't use paper towel. I used the plastic wrap, which worked really well. Yeah. All right, so I do have this handy dandy book right here. If anyone has something that they want me to look up in here, they can. I can. Oh, it was funny. So I was going through the back, and they have like crazy names for some of these, right? And I saw one, and it was called cut finger. I was like, cut finger. I wonder what plant that is. And so then I go through, and it was good for a cut on a finger. I was like, oh, I'm a moron. Okay, yeah. But yeah, so if anyone has any questions or anything they want me to look up, like there's just so many. And then there's a section in the back on like planning your herb garden. There's tropical herbs, all different culinary uses. I think there's recipes in here. There's tips on propagating, layering, cuttings, planning your garden. So I thought these were kind of cute here. So I apologize if my camera goes in and out with the and I don't know if you followed the Impatient Gardener, but I think it was last year. It was either last year or the year before. She did this really cool herb garden, and she used, I can't remember what it was, but she used a certain herb like in the middle to like make like a zigzag pattern to make like to divide all of the other herbs. It was really pretty. I can't remember what she used in it. So this is an herb bath garden. So they give you like some layouts like this, right? So you can do it like in a square box. Then they have this layout here, very pretty. If anyone wants to do like just a formal herb garden, it looks like. And then they have these. This is an aromatherapy herb garden laid out. And then this one here is a white herb garden. So if you wanted to go kind of like a moon garden type herb garden, that would be really pretty at night. So it'd be like white lavender, sweet woodruff, bergamot, snow maiden, Jacob's ladder, yarrow white, foxgloves white, chamomile Roman, lily of the valley, thyme, hyssop, thyme, chives, sweet Sicily, valerian, horehound, and prostanthera. Prostanthera, what's that? I gotta look that one up. Yeah, the paper towel, and well, there you go. Because that was the video that I watched. And if you go back to my video, I have a link in the description below of the guy that I followed his instructions. And he said, yes, the paper towel is very prone to enabling the, what was that, prostanthera. It enables that, the growth of mold really, really easily. So to not use either one of them. So Prostanthera 156. It is also known as mint bush. It's a highly attractive aromatic shrub native to Australia. I have fallen in love with these generous flowers when exhibiting one at the Chelsea Flower Show. Oh, they went to the Chelsea Flower Show. Nicole and I were talking about that. We want to go. We want to meet up and go to the Chelsea Flower Show. I can find no historical references other than the Dictionary of Gardening, which states the generic name, Prostanthera. Yeah, so there's no other common name or whatever. I'll have to ask Daz. He might know if there's some other names, but that's how it's spelled. And then that's what it looks like. It's a really pretty little plant. It's from so it's also known as mint bush. Medicinal. I'm sure that the plant gives off much scent and has obviously so much oil in the leaf. Will have one day have some use. So he doesn't have very much information on it. What it's used for. So that was interesting. But yeah, apparently you can get it in white blooms and you can put it in your garden. Oh, of course, there's Jessie. Yes, it's a genius of 100 species of flowering plants in the mint family, all endemic to Australia. Cool. Yeah, so Lamium. Lamium is another variety of similar plants. I went and bought a ridiculous amount of vodka today. Oh, to make your own tinctures. Wah, wah, wah. The guy at the store smiles and says, I'm no alcoholic too, but this is three. I'm a gardener. Well, that makes so much more sense. He probably just thought you were going to have a nice, fun garden party. Invite me. I'll come. Plants are usually shrubs, rarely trees with leaves in opposite parts. The flowers are arranged in panicles on the leaf axillus or on the ends of branchlets. Native to southeastern Australia, it is a bushy evergreen pack with a compact habit growing to 90 centimeters, both in height and width. Very cool. Hey, Garden of Eden, welcome in. How are you doing? Well-drained soil. Oh, cool. Oh, it doesn't protect from freezing. Oh, you're out. Yeah, it's not going to last here. I don't want to have to protect hardly anything from freezing. That's just way too much work. Yeah, so I don't know. This book, I don't even know where I got this book. I don't know if someone gave me the book or if I got it at the secondhand store. I don't even know. I just found it in my closet. So I was very excited about that. This I think is really cool. So this is a salad garden. So this shows you how you can like set it up for a salad garden. And then this one, what is this one? This one is a medicinal herb garden here. Very pretty layout. So the salad garden has, chives, caraway, borscht, salad burnet, parsley, nasturtium, sorrel, hyssop, marigold, pot marigold, which is calendula, tarragon, salad rocket, cowslip, mint spear, chicory, lemon thyme, chives, and red orc. And then it has a cook's herb garden, which is really cute. I like how it's spaced like this with a little checkered board. And then this is a dyeing art garden, as in a natural dye garden, not go dye in your garden, but like color dyes. So I have a friend, Marsha, and she's actually the one that's always sending me the random pepper seeds. We do seed swaps every year, and she lives in an apartment. Her balcony is insane. Like she's got a big balcony, but she's growing so many plants out there. But she also, I know her from the sewing world. And so she grows plants she likes to dye fabrics and she likes to use natural dyes. So she tries to grow things with natural fabric for natural fabric dyes. So she's growing a few of the garden huckleberries that I gave her. So I'm excited to see how that works out because it's one of those that are reactive. So if it's like a blue color to the juice, and then if you add in baking soda, it goes like this lime green, and then if you add back the like an acid like lemon juice or something, then it goes to a really pretty purple. So it's really cool. Oh, yeah. Did you ever get your picture together? Did you ever get your picture? Oh, Tiny Tim, you're leaving? I think I see people saying goodbye to you, but I don't see where you said you're going. So, good night. Oh, there we go. Good night. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad you guys all had so much fun last week. I was so jealous watching everyone's videos of all the meetups and everything. Yeah. So butterfly pea is in the same type of, there's a name for it. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's a certain type of thing that, that does that. So butterfly pea, garden huckleberry, and there's another one too, and I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Actually, speaking of alcohol, I was at the liquor store yesterday, and I didn't get anything because nothing was very exciting. But I was just kind of, when I'm there by the dollar store, I walk through, see if there's anything on sale. They do have this very, very beautiful purple. It's called, I think it's Empress gin, and it's purple and it's dyed with the butterfly pea. So my goal this year was to grow the butterfly pea, store my peas, the flowers, dry them, and make my own beautiful purple gin. But mine have not flowered and they've not gotten very big. They're still alive, but they're about 2 feet tall. And you got a picture. Yay. Oh, I'm glad. Otherwise, I was going to have to use my very sketchy Photoshop job and try to make you one. You have a Venus flytrap. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, there are certain times of the year that I could really use that. Hey, do the Venus flytraps eat what's the word I'm looking for? The really annoying ones in the seedlings. What are they called? Oh my gosh, brain fart. It is a very sad story, but they're alive though. I didn't kill them, so I may need more seeds because I'm not going to be able to have any to save. But they're alive. The plants, I didn't kill them. Fungus gnats. Thank you. Gosh, I couldn't think of it. Yes. Okay, Jesse. Don't go too far down that one. I was thinking fungus gnats, or even like fruit flies. I wonder if a Venus flytrap would eat those. That would be kind of cool. And then this one has like a potpourri garden. So if you're going to grow your, if you wanted to grow something just for the smells and make your own potpourri. And then this side was an aroma and herb garden. And then it has ideas for containers and baskets. And then it goes through how to harvest them. And then this whole section is on herbs, oils, vinegars, and preserves. So it has recipes for making different oils and everything. And it has a dye chart. So yeah, let me see if it has anything else in here for the purple. So it has alder. So the elderberries will dye stuff purple and yellow. Anything else? Meadowsweet roots dye something black. Oh, that's cool. That's hard to find black natural dye. Sorrel, dirty yellow is the color. That's lovely. Oh, and I'm glowing again. There we go. Thank you. I know what potpourri is. Hey, how are you? Listening while you set up for your live. Very nice. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in. We'll see you in a little bit. Get everything set up. Everything's going good over there. Hey, Cape Cod Life. Welcome in. How are you? Yeah, so I don't know. This is kind of a cool book. I probably should spend more time. And then general methods of controlling different pests. Leaf miners. I do have problems with leaf miners on certain plants. They love my nasturtiums and my columbine. They love the columbine. And powdery mildew. I'll have to go and check and see if I need to reapply, but I did treat my powdery mildew with hydrogen peroxide. Man, my brain. Okay, I was up way too early this morning. I was like in the kitchen making breakfast before 6. I was like, I'm so tired. Took an hour and a half to get to the job today and like 2 hours on the way home. We had like the worst traffic. We were sitting there. We went, I think it took us like a half an hour to go like 5 miles on the highway. It was just so frustrating. And then like we finally like things start to get moving a little bit. And so we go from the right-hand lane to the middle lane because it was moving faster. And then all of a sudden our lane just stops and both lanes on either side are going and we're stopped. And we're like, what is going on? So finally there's an opening to get over and we go up like there's a semi in the middle of the middle lane stopped. And the driver is out talking to a guy on the side of the road next to his car. So I don't know if there was a fender bender or something happened, but he just left his truck parked in the middle of the middle lane in the express lanes of the 401 in Scarborough. We were just like, what the heck? Like, it was so frustrating. So we're like, well, no wonder we weren't going anywhere. We were just sitting there behind this guy. So anyways, yeah, that was very frustrating. So have I missed anything in the chat? No, everyone's just saying hi to each other. So I thought this was kind of cool too. I'm going to go through this section a little bit more. And this is it's called the yearly calendar. And so it breaks down each month, like what herbs, what herbs you should be looking for, what you should be preparing, what fresh herbs should be available. It probably have to take into consideration your zone. I'm not exactly sure where this was written, but it takes you through each month. So like January, it says it's one of the quietest months, but their fresh herbs available could be bay, hyssop, sage, rosemary, winter savory, thyme, lemon thyme, chervil, and parsley. And then to cultivation, it says seed with heat parsley. So you can start sowing outside with in certain climates. Then it tells you what to do with the containers. It's kind of a cool thing. And it goes through each month and it tells you all the different things. Then there we have a glossary at the back. And then an explanation of botanical names. And then the index with some very funny names in there. So yeah, if anyone has any questions on like if they're growing an herb and they don't really know what to do with it, or they have a plant they don't know what to do with it, if it has any medicinal properties, I can try and look it up for you. No problem. But which was your favorite? Which was your favorite funny name from tonight? The annoying thing is fly traps need nutrient-free soil and distilled water or rainwater, and pond water is okay. Tap water, well, water has minerals, so that's a no-no. Oh, distilled water. Well, rainwater is not bad. You should be able to collect enough rainwater for if it's one plant, right? Just put a bucket outside and use that. No, I would think. Oh, what did I grab? Mexican marigolds. All right. Let's look that up. Let's see if we have anything in here. And yes, I'm singing the alphabet in my head, if you were wondering. I'm looking. Do I see anything Mexican? Nothing says Mexican. I have heard of it though, Mexican marigolds. Let me just see if they have what marigolds. Maybe it's under marigolds. Marigold is 56 to 57, so I'll see if it includes them in that, or if it's like a completely different variety. Because I know like Mexican sunflowers or petunias are totally different, right? Marigold, also known as saucy, marybud, bullseye, garden marigold, hologold, marybud, pot marigold, and common marigold. Now, pot marigold I thought was calendula. Oh, well, it is. That's the official name is Calendula officinalis. Okay. So yes, they are a form of marigold. I like calendula. I don't really like marigolds so much. Yeah, I don't know if it would be the same as Mexican marigold. Maybe Jesse can look up Mexican marigold for us there. Of course, he already has it before I even look up. It can grow in Mediterranean desert, subtropical temperatures, climates, and growing in hardiness 3. What? Wow, that is really hardy. I could grow that in a pot here. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait on Jesse for that. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of regular marigolds, but see in the picture here, they're just showing marigold calendula. So I don't know. Like these look like calendula to me. These don't look like the traditional marigolds. So, it didn't have like another thing with it. For these, medicinal marigold flowers contain antiseptic, antifungal, and antibacterial properties, making it great for promoting healing. You can make a compress or a poultice out of the flowers for burns, scalds, or stings. Also used in the treatment of varicose veins, chilblains, and I know this word, and I can't pronounce it. You don't need to know. It's fine. A cold infusion may be used as an eye wash for conjunctivitis and can be helped in the treatment of thrush. The sap from the stem has a reputation for removing warts, corns, and calluses. It can also be used in cosmetic preparations that contain marigold, infusing the skin to reduce large pores, nourish and clear the skin, and clear up spots and pimples. I remember my friend in grade school once, she picked a marigold from someone's yard and she stuck it under my chin. And she says, if you put a marigold here under your chin and it reflects yellow on your skin, it means you like butter. How's that for a really random memory? And I was like, wouldn't it reflect on everyone's skin? Like, I don't know, like how it would only work as one. Oh gosh. Oh my, I'm not reading all of this. It is, yeah, we don't even know what that is. Aztec Marigold is a native flower to Mexico and was first used by the Aztecs and used in the Mexican holiday mythology to honor the Aztec goddess of death. Yeah, we are not slaughtering that the Aztec language tonight. We are not. Your mom used to do it with buttercups. She would hold it under my chin and say the same thing. So maybe it was a buttercup. I don't know. I just remember I was in grade school and she just held this. That would make sense. The whole butter thing with buttercups, that would make more sense. Yeah. That's funny. It's just an old saying or whatever. Her mom was English, from England. So I don't know. It was yeah, I just thought that was funny. So here's a recipe for sweet marigold buns. Butter, sugar, flour, baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of fresh marigold petals. And the marigolds in this picture are definitely calendula, because actual, like the really roughly marigolds are very stinky. Those are French marigolds that I'm thinking of. I wonder if that has a different Latin name, because they have like French marigolds and African marigolds, and they're very they're much, it's not in here though. They have a much tighter petal structure, and they're very stinky, which is why they're good for repelling pests, because pests, bugs and stuff don't like the smell of it. Let me see if that's under a different name. No, we have, there's something called freckle face, French lavender, French parsley, French tarragon. So I don't know what the I don't know what the, what's the Latin name for French marigold? I don't know. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh yeah. And me too. I have a butternut squash I'm growing. I think it will have it. Oh, that's exciting. That will be delicious. I love butternut squash. There's some squashes I'm not super excited about, but why do I keep blowing out like this? Is it better if I turn that off? Like, I paid for the camera thing, so I wouldn't have to deal with stuff like this. At least the auto framing is not changing, like zooming in and out the whole time tonight. Here we go. French marigolds. These type of marigolds bloom in the fall and the summer, and since they bloom with sturdy flowers, they grow well in containers. They are edible. Okay. Sweetness? I don't know. I think one of the reasons it kind of turns me off eating marigolds is one of the reasons I don't like the I don't like them. So last year I grew the white ones, and the white marigolds, it's called a vanilla marigold. It does not smell like vanilla. It's just because of the color. It was covered in aphids. I mean, not aphids, earwigs. Like, I tried to cut a few for flower bouquets. They did not have very long stems, but I had a couple that I thought, well, I could tuck them in, and I cut them, and they let all these little earwigs came out, and I was like, oh. So yeah, I don't think that they worked very well for repelling insects. So you need to stick with the uglier, stinky ones. Some say the orange flowers of the tangerine cultivar have a more pronounced orange flavor. I'll have to take your word for it. For sure. Overwintering anything is tricky. Yep. I barely kept 2 plants alive last year. It was close. The one like died like 3 times almost on me. Like lost its leaves, everything fell off, turned brown. I thought it was dead. And then I watered it and it came back. It's got tons of leaves. It looks really pretty. My Dipladenia out back, but I have no blooms on it this year at all. So I'm not sure if it's worth it or worth dealing with, fighting with it all winter. Maybe I'll just get a different one next year in the spring and enjoy its beauty all spring long. Because the one I ended up getting for the neighbors down the street, looks amazing and it's beautiful. So it's one of those plants. I don't know if it's worth trying to overwinter, or maybe I should start with a healthy one and try to overwinter it and try not to kill it this time. I was doing really well with it until I went to set up for my seedlings, and I had to move it to the other side, and it was like where the light was coming in, it was fine. And then I set up my shelves in front of that window in the living room for my seedlings to go in, and I forgot that they were covering, it was in the pot down below it, because you couldn't really see where it was at. It was behind the couch and the coffee table, and so I forgot that it was there, and it didn't get hardly any light for probably like a month or 2. It dropped all its leaves. I thought for sure it was dead, but it did come back once I watered it and got it some sun. So You grew Kilimanjaro white marigolds this year. They got massive, no bugs. Nice. Nice. Yeah, mine just didn't do so great. And I put them in with the tomatoes. And I found that they browned really quickly. I just didn't think that they were that pretty of a plant. And I was like, you know what? I'd much rather put nasturtiums in there or use like calendula as a root pot, a trap plant, rather than trying to deal with that. I was just like, yeah, no, not a big fan. Feverfew. Oh yeah, Feverfew. I was looking at trying to find some Feverfew seeds because I know Nicole at Flower Hill Farm grows Feverfew. They look. It's like I'm just making sure it's not going to give away the Latin name. I'm going to make you guys guess what the Latin name for Feverfew is. But if you see this picture down here, they look like a miniature daisy. They're white and they're kind of a small flower, and they are really nice for cut flower bouquets. And Feverfew, also known as Tenactum or Chrysanthemum parthenium. So it is in the chrysanthemum family. The leaves look to me like parsley. It is an attractive, robust, vigorous plant that it grows well in well-draining soils. The name suggests the herb was used in the treatment of fevers. It's supposed to help draw out a fever. It can also be used for pains and heads in the cold and colds. Nowadays, it is used in a treatment for migraines. Oh, that's cool. It's been used for centuries. However, its ability to soothe headaches was not given much attention until the 1970s, when it was thoroughly investigated scientifically, following claims that it reduced migraines. Many clinical trials were held, and results over a 6-month period showed a 70% reduction in migraines, and a 43% of the patients felt other beneficial side effects, including more restful sleep and relief from arthritis. 18% had unpleasant side effects. Golden and double-flowered forms have not been tested, though experience suggests that some will react similarly. Eat 3 to 5 fresh leaves between a slice of bread every day to reduce migraines. As mentioned before, this is very bitter, so put the leaves in a sandwich, brown bread, of course, to make it more palatable. You could also add a sprig of mint, marjoram, or parsley. Do not eat more. So do not eat more than 3 to 5 fresh leaves a day. Very interesting. I don't know. I think maybe I'd rather buy a concoction of it rather than risk eating the wrong ones. Yes, healthy. And you can also eat, well, it depends. Some avocado leaves are edible, and some avocado leaves are poisonous. So make sure you know which variety you have before you try to eat them. Marigolds are some of the most valuable plants in your garden, along with their pest repelling abilities to act as trap crops for other plants, keeping them away from your precious vegetables. The blooms for some species are edible and also used to produce perfumes or essential oils. Marigolds also come with many health benefits, which, processed correctly, they can help as a sleep aid, relieve nausea, and assist with minor health problems. I love Feverfew for in bouquets. I have never, no. No, you leave him alone. He is quietly sleeping downstairs on the couch, relaxing, doing his thing, away from me, nice and calm. Oh my gosh, we got home later today than normal. He was so excited to see me. Like, oh my gosh, he's such a mama's boy. Like, oh my gosh, I should show you the video I sent to Nicole last night. So I was sitting on the couch and I'm trying to fold laundry, and why I ever thought I should fold 2 loads of laundry with Dexter around was beyond me. I don't know. I just did it because I want to watch videos. Okay. I want to watch YouTube on TV. And so I thought I'll just sit here and do my laundry. So I spent like 15 minutes just fighting with him. Like, he would grab a sock and run off, or try to grab a pair of underwear and run off, or try to jump in the basket, or drop his bone in the basket and then cry because, anyways, it was an absolute disaster. I kept yelling at him. I tried to block him off with the 2 laundry baskets on the couch. So then he came along the back of the couch, laid down, and just started chewing on my hair. And he was just like, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so annoying, but at least I can fold the laundry. He's leaving me alone. So then my husband walks in and he's like, what is going on? And I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, he's bugging me. I said, where's his chicken? Because he's got this super squeaky rubber chicken that he absolutely loves. It's the noisiest little toy you've ever heard, but he loves this thing. So I said, find his chicken. So he goes, oh, I think it's out on the deck. So my husband's going outside. So he goes outside. He squeaks the chicken. Dexter hears him. jumps off the couch, runs downstairs. I hear him go out the doggy door. And then I hear squeak, squeak, squeak. And then I hear him come in the doggy door, back up the stairs, back up the couch, and lays right on my shoulder and squeaks the chicken right on my shoulder. I was like, this is not better. This is not better. It was so much worse. It was so annoying. I was like, are you kidding me? So of course I had to take video because I was just ready to strangle him. He was like, oh yeah, my chicken. Great idea, Mom. Thanks. I was like, oh. So anyways, but oh my gosh, he was so funny last night. We took him to the park and I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, I should put his GoPro camera on when we go to the park because it would be funny just to kind of see the view of, I mean, I wouldn't be posting it on YouTube of like the neighborhood kids, but just for me to see like the view of all the kids like just swarming him and what it's like for him. So the kids come up and they're swarming him and whatever. And then I see another dog come in and I'm not sure what kind of dog. It was a fairly big dog, long hair. And all the kids are like, oh, Pluto. So they run over to say hi to this dog. And the dog had been quite rambunctious when the owner came along and was like biting on his leash and running in circles and having a good old time. So you could tell he was still pretty young. But as soon as the kids came over, she told him to lay down and he laid down on his side and he let the kids pet him and everything. So I was like, okay, he's a pretty well-behaved dog. He's doing pretty good. So I slowly took Dexter over. We'd never met him before. And she was like, oh yeah, you can come say hi. So we get close and it's so funny. So the dog is just laying on the ground. He lets Dexter come up to him and Dexter just stands there like still as a board. They're just sniffing each other. Then the dog slowly gets up and comes and like circles around Dexter and sniffs him, like checking him out. And then like all hell broke loose. They started playing. And it was so cute, but I've never seen Dexter play this rough with another dog. And she's like, her dog's used to playing with a friend that's a beagle. So and then as soon as Dexter would kind of back off a little bit, the dog would bark and he's got these like big fangs and he's like, "Hur, hur," and he's barking at him. And Dexter's just like, yeah, right in there. And she was laughing because she says a lot of dogs, when he barks like that, he wants them to come play. But a lot of times he intimidates them. Right. And I was like, yeah, he's too stupid to be intimidated. He was all in. Like he was not the least bit scared of this dog. And the dog was like, put his paw up on him and smacked him and was jumping on him. And they were just, oh my God, he was having the time of his life. And then at one point, his whole little black muzzle was all covered in slobber. It was like foaming because the other dog had like had almost his whole head in his mouth. Anyways, he had a great time. He was just like, I was really proud of how he handled himself. You know, he didn't get scared. He did not back down from a challenge. But he wasn't rough with him or anything. Like they had a great time playing. And then we got home and he was just exhausted. So it was funny. So I was sitting on the couch and he was sitting next to me and he was like leaning on my arm. And then he kind of like leaned back and he fell asleep, like sitting upright, wedged kind of between the two couch cushions. So he's like just totally vertical and he's like this. And he just like starts snoring. I was like, oh my goodness, you are so tired. So yeah, he totally wore himself out at the park, which was really cute. So I don't know if my chat froze up or y'all are just sitting back and listening to the Dexter stories. But hopefully I'm not like, the chat's not like still moving and I'm like ignoring everybody. So, hey, FR Humphrey, how are you? Welcome in. You'll have to catch the replay. We've talked quite a bit about herbs tonight. Yeah. So, if you don't mind, that would be awesome. Anyone else that have any questions? So everyone's just sitting back. We're like, no worries. No worries. Okay. You're all just listening. All right. It's just such a captivating Dexter story. Oh my gosh, he was so cute. And he was like playing rough and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I'm looking around for Sydney. Of course, she is on the other side of the playground, completely unaware of the entire thing because I was wishing she would come over and use the camera and take some videos of it because I wanted to show Randy. I thought it would be funny. But oh my gosh, if he had his GoPro on. And it was funny because some of the kids were screaming and some of the parents were like, I think they were a little worried that there was like going to be a dog fight going on, but they were just playing and they were having fun. And I was just, trying to read, Dexter. And because Dexter, he's not scared. He has not been like scared of other dogs at all, but don't tell him I told you this, but he's terrified of cats. The neighbors, like when I went over to walk their dogs a few times, they have cats in the house, and I opened the door to get the dog out. He saw the cat and he just like flattened on the ground. Like he would not go anywhere near the front door. It was like, I don't know. He did not know. And I don't know, like, I guess I don't know if the people he got him from had cats. I don't think they did. I don't know if he had a bad run-in with a cat as a puppy, or he just is like, I don't know what that thing is. Or if he can just sense that all cats are kind of mean. I don't know. So anyways, it's funny. I do have pictures of the neighbor's cat. I was over talking to her on our porch the other night, and we were talking for quite a while, and she has 2 cats in the house, and it's the yard of the house that I grow some plants and stuff, and my daughter mows for her in the yard, so it's open to our backyard. And so her 2 cats, a lot of times if we're out in the backyard, she always knows when we're out in the backyard because the cats are out the window watching. And if they see Dexter outside, sometimes they'll go down to the sliding glass door, and then Dexter will go up to the door. And she's got like, a concrete step there, and he'll kind of walk back in front of the door, and the cats are sitting on the inside. So I don't know if he recognized these cats, being as he was like at the front of the house. Like, I don't think he's probably smart enough to put together that that's the same house front to back. I don't know. But he was like at the door, at the window, and the cats were on the other side, and then he's there and he's like pawing at the glass, and then they'd jump back down, and then they'd come back up. So it was really cute. They were interacting. But yeah, he's kind of scared of cats. But dogs, he'll go up to any dog. And there's one dog up the street. It's a big Doberman. And she's like, yeah, he doesn't like puppies. So we keep him well back. And he's barked at Dexter a few times. And Dexter did jump back like, whoa, because it was like this big, deep bark. But then he went back in. Like he was just like, what? And he went back in. I grabbed his leash. I was like, hell no, you're not going anywhere near that dog. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Doberman. And he knows it too. He just struts down the street, that dog. He's so pretty. And he's super friendly with me. But yeah, he doesn't like small dogs, or she said puppies. She doesn't like the puppy energy, but who does really? Like, I don't blame this guy. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what's that was my I did have some other quiz questions that I had queued up over here if anyone is interested in quizzes. Oh, this one's easy. This herb is a member of the alum family, also known as rush leeks. It is most found in kitchen gardens and is a valuable source of calcium. Is it A, chives, coriander, basil, or garlic? Enter your best guess. A member of the alum family. We have a winner. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I think he slipped in right before you. Yes, chives. Oh my God. Okay, so they spelled it alum, Allum, right? And then I know allium is also, they're all in the same family. Anyways, so we work, I work with my husband. We do like drywall taping and like stucco ceiling repairs. And so a lot of times we do work for other contractors that are painters or whatever. And they're like, oh, we need you to come in and do some patches before we paint. So there's this one guy, we're good friends with him, but he's Irish and he has a very strong accent sometimes. And so he sent us to do a job on Elm Road. And so this was back in the days before Google, before MapQuest. And I'm sitting there with this big map book. And I'm in the back and I'm looking for Elm Road in Mississauga. Well, there's an Elm Road in Toronto. There's an Elm Road here. There's nothing like this in Mississauga. And he goes, well, I know it's right in this neighborhood because he gave me the cross streets. It's down here by the mall. So I'm like, I don't know. So I flipped to the map section of the mall and I'm looking at all the different street names. And I'm like, could it be Elm? There's an Elm. So we go on to Elm. So we find Elm Street. There's the number. It's the unit or whatever. But yeah, he pronounced Elm. And I spelt it completely different and could not find this place. Anyways, okay. Off topic. The French word for this herb is incisor. The herb is thought to be the herb of remembrance and was used in past in funeral rites. It adds a great flavor when cooked with lamb or potatoes. Which herb? Do you guys want the 4 questions, or do you want to guess? Do you want to guess without the options? Whatever happened to the move you created about the very point of what? Whatever happened to the move you created about that very poisonous weed fly? Oh, I don't know. I think it's gone. Oh, the Hogwart, the giant Hogwart. I think it was trimmed. They only have to worry about it when I guess when it's blooming. Once it's done blooming, if they miss when it's blooming, it's done. I haven't noticed it though, so I think it must be gone. Rosemary, mint, rosemary, pigweed, movement. Yeah, that's right. Movement. Yeah, rosemary. Our options are actually I didn't even click on the answers to see if I was right. So the options are mint, parsley, oregano, or rosemary. I'm guessing rosemary as well, but I'll have to wait until I get to the bottom of this quiz to see if I got it right, I guess. Or it's going red. Does that mean it's right? Okay, next question. Well, I guess we'll all do this together. The herb originates from India, but is much more associated with Thai and Mediterranean cookery. Which herb? Basil, mint, chives, or parsley? But more associated with Thai and Mediterranean. Mint, chives, parsley, mint? With Thai, I think of basil, but I don't really think of basil with Mediterranean. I think of parsley with Mediterranean. Unless they mean parsley and then they're including like Chinese parsley, cilantro or coriander. Which one should we pick? Basil? You guys want to go with basil? Yeah, I guess they do in Mediterranean cookery. They use basil. I don't know why I'm thinking more. But yeah, the herb originates from India. It's just they don't use a lot of basil in Indian cooking. Okay, next question, number 4. There are many varieties of this herb which grows almost out of control and should be planted in pots. We already know what this one is. It has many cleansing properties and is probably the most familiar smelling of herbs. Which herb is that? The monster herb. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, mint. Exactly, mint. Basil, chamomile, tarragon, or mint are the options. Question number 5. This herb, which originates from the Mediterranean, has major antiseptic properties and was used in the past as a food preservative. Which herb? Thyme, sage, rosemary, or tarragon? Rosemary, oregano. No, oregano is not on there. Sorry. It's thyme, sage, rosemary, or tarragon. I know that rosemary is very antiseptic. I don't know as much about the others. Rosemary, thyme, sage, tarragon, thyme, oh my god, we're all over the map on this one. I don't know. We'll have to wait till we get to the end of the quiz because I have to hit submit, I think. It's an online quiz thing. This herb is my particular favorite and is used a lot in North African and Asian cookery. Its seeds can be used whole or ground as a spice. Which herb? Parsley, chamomile, sage, or coriander? Bum, bum, bum. It's used a lot in North African and Asian cooking, and the seeds can be used whole or as a ground spice. Coriander, that's what I'm going with. Because actually they call cilantro coriander instead of just growing up. It was always the fresh herb was cilantro and the dried herb was coriander. And here they call the fresh because of the Indian influence, and I think Indian and Europe and English, they refer to the fresh as well as coriander. The botanical name for this is Salvia officinalis and has a strong scent. It is used in stuffings and it has a lovely savory flavor. Adds to meat. Which herb? Coriander, chives, common sage, or garlic? Sage. There we go. It's a salvia. This herb is sometimes known by the names Cerifolium and French parsley. It has a slightly aniseed flavor and is said to have a similar aroma to that of myrrh. Which herb? Chervil, tarragon, dill, oregano? I'm guessing chervil as well. I'm not really familiar with it though, but tarragon doesn't look like parsley leaves, and chervil does. But I don't know if I've ever really. I couldn't tell you what it tastes like. Nicole's going out on a limb with oregano. I don't know. Um, I'm gonna guess the chervil. I don't know. Cape Cod. He seemed pretty confident. He didn't have a he didn't have a question mark after it, so I'm gonna go with his quote. Um, this herb is related to oregano, but has a milder flavor. It also has antifungal properties and is used often in Italian and European cuisine. Which herb? Um, what is anise? Anise? What? What did I say? What is anise? Anise seed. Anise seed flavor, sorry. Is it what pronounced Nice? Anise? Anise? Are you being serious? Are you messing with me? I'm going on low sleep here, buddy. I'm guessing marjoram as well. Because marjoram is like, I use marjoram instead of oregano because I don't like regular oregano. I always grew up with Mexican oregano, which is very different than the Greek oregano that I can get here. So I actually use marjoram more than I would. Anise. I say an anise. Not anise. But I don't know. A niece or a nephew? This herb is most commonly associated with fish dishes, but is excellent with eggs too. It is also used to add flavor to pickles. Which herb? Bum, bum, bum. I think I know this one. Dill. Yeah. Does anyone else say anise? How do you say it? Do you say anise or anise? I think I've heard a few people say anise on cooking shows. I just wonder if it's one of those things. It depends on what part of the country you're from. Kind of like pecan or pecan or all of those. So I'm going with dill. Some of these other names of this herb include sea bright or clear eye. This may be because its seeds and leaves have been used to make ointments and wash treatments to treat eye conditions. It is a member of the salvia family. Which herb? Clary sage, bay leaves, chives, or basil? I think I'm going to go with clary sage, being as sage is in the salvia family. Yeah. This herb is actually a leaf from a tree or shrub. Ooh, how do you say shrub? A tree or shrub. Its botanical name is Laurus nobilis, and other names for it are Daphne or Lorbeer. It is one of the herbes de Provence. Which herb? Yes, bay leaves. There we go. This herb gives okay, so your options were parsley, rosemary, thyme, or bay. This herb, how many questions are there? This herb gives an excellent flavor to poultry dishes and is great when used in stuffings. It has an aromatic flavor and his botanical name Artemisia dracunculus. Which herb? Oregano, tarragon, rosemary, common sage. Sage is really popular tonight. We say a small bush. Thank you. Bring me a shrubbery. Oh, come on. You had to know a shrubbery comment was coming in. Not too expensive. Okay. I'm gonna go with common sage, just because poultry and stuffing. No? Oh, we're torn here. We're getting some tarragons coming in. Okay. This herb is most famous when used as a calming tea or as an ingredient for lightening hair. Some of the varieties are common, stinking, and corn. Its botanical name is Athamus. Which herb? chamomile, chervil, basil, or dill? Or am I supposed to say chamomile? Chamomile? Chamomile. You know what? I think that's something I grew up always saying chamomile. And then here in Canada, people say chamomile. I have changed my pronunciation on that one. So I'm going with chamomile. Okay, so I said it right, Jess. The best known types of herbs are the curly and flat-leafed varieties. Is chewed after eating garlic. It is said to neutralize the odor and freshen the breath. Which herb? Your choices are parsley, mint, tarragon, or sage. Oh my God, I can't imagine just chewing on a sage leaf after something. Whoa. Ugh. Okay, so the first question was chives. Only 65% of other people answered that correctly. So it was back at the top of the quiz back when we were asking what was the member of the alum family. The French word for incisor, this group is thought to be herb of remembrance and used in funeral rites. It's great with lamb and potatoes, was rosemary. We got it right. The herb that originated in India but is associated with Thai and Mediterranean was basil. Oh my God. Okay, so only 77% of people got rosemary, 64% got basil. The plant that grows out of control, mint, 79% of players got that. We were wrong on this one. Oh no, and we were split too. And I went with the wrong question, the wrong answer. This herb, which originates from the Mediterranean, has major antiseptic properties and was used in the past as food preservation. I went with rosemary. The correct answer was thyme. So if you said thyme, good for you. Only 36% of people got that. Ooh, that was a tricky one. The herb that's popular in North African and Asian cookery was coriander. Common sage was the next one. Chervil, that was the correct one. Like many herbs here, it was used in the past to cure ailments. It is one of the fine French herbs: tarragon, parsley, chervil, and chives. It's hard to say. Only 51% of people got that question properly. The herb related to oregano is marjoram. 66% of people got that. Dill, yes. Flavor pickles. 85% of people got that one. As soon as it was pickles, they're like, yes, I know this one. Some of the other names that include sea bright or clear eye was clary sage. The tree is obey. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I fell for that with the poultry dishes and stuffings. Aromatic savory flavor, and its botanical name is Artemisia dracanulus. I went with common sage, and it was actually tarragon. I should have guessed that it was too many sage questions. But I think, who was it that went with tarragon on that one? Oh, Nicole went with tarragon. Cape Cod Life, Jesse. I should have listened. The next one, chamomile. Oh, only 37 of people got that one right. Good job. And why didn't I? Because sage is salvia, and there it had its botanical name. I'm an idiot. Oh yeah. So yes, chamomile. 92% of people got that right. And the parsley, 81% of people got that right. So I got 13 out of 15 correct. And I think some of you got 100%. Good job. Good job. Wow. Oh, I think we all know more about herbs than we did at the beginning of the night. I know I sure do. And how do you parsley? Really? Parsley. Is that I'm going to say it for now? Parsley. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I thought it'd be kind of fun to shake things up a little bit tonight because there wasn't a whole lot going on in the garden. It was kind of quiet this week. We've had some rain on and off. My foot's doing a lot better, so I am able to move around and do all that. We've been busy with work. I did get to just kind of sit in the garden yesterday out on the deck, and I had a lovely cocktail. So my favorite drink of the summer, so I'm going to declare, the summer of 2022 is a splash of my crabapple jelly well, I made a syrup out of it. So before it hit jelly stage, I made a syrup. So it was just crabapple juice and sugar, and then you mix it up and heated it up a bit, and then I poured off some into a mason jar before I brought it to the jelly state. So we've been using that syrup. It's really good. So I just put a splash of that in the glass with a splash or two of gin, and then I topped it off with some. It's a watermelon lime aha sparkling water, and it is absolutely delicious. It's really, really good. It's been really fun. I've done a similar syrup with the rhubarb, and that was really good as well, and pairs very nicely with gin. Also, what was it? I was looking it up because one night I was like, I was out of gin, which was terrifying. And I mixed it with, what else did it say it would mix with? Oh, I missed the first time I did a drink with the crabapple syrup. I mixed it with brandy. No, whiskey. I used a whiskey. I mixed it with a whiskey. So it was kind of like an apple brandy whiskey type thing. And that was really good too. And it was funny because it just, you couldn't even quite place it. I brought it out and I told my husband, I'm like, here, take a sip of this. And he's like, because I don't even know what I'm drinking. It's good. It's really good, but I can't even, because he didn't know I had made the crab apple syrup. So he didn't know that that was in it. And he just was like, he could not place the flavors, but it's really good. And my daughter really likes it too, minus the gin. She just uses it, mixes it with the sparkling water. I love the sparkling waters because they don't have any sugar or anything added to them. No fake sugars, there's no sweetness to them. So then the syrup adds a little nice sweetness to it if you want. But I like them straight up, but I am waiting. So one of the companies here is called President's Choice, and it's one of the main off-label or store brands. And their sparkling waters, they came out a couple years ago with 4 varieties that are like fake pop. So they have a cherry cola, they have a cream soda, they have a root beer, and they have a ginger ale. Not a big fan of the ginger ale, but I'm not really a ginger ale person anyways. It just, there was really no flavor. It tasted more just kind of like a flat sparkling water. The root beer is good. And it tastes exactly like root beer, but it's not sweet. So at first it kind of throws you off because you think you're drinking root beer, and then your body's like, oh, this is root. No, it's not root beer. And then, but it's very good. And the cream soda is spot on with the flavor. And so is the cherry cola. They're very, very good. So I would like them to come up with a tonic. I would love them to come up with a tonic, and no sugar added tonic. So I don't care about I don't want the fake sweeteners, right? I can't stand the taste of diet sodas or fake artificial sweeteners. So I'm looking for one in like a just unsweetened version of the tonic, and then I can add in my own, like a little shot of stevia or something like that if I need it sweetened up, or one of my syrups. So yeah, I'm waiting for someone to come up with a tonic. So if you're out there and you're looking to create a new drink, get me a sugar-free tonic. I think that would be really nice with the gin. I could probably use, I have used the grapefruit. So there's a grapefruit sparkling water, which is very good. There's lemon. I'm not as fond of the lemon. I prefer is the lime? No, I prefer the lemon sparkling water, but I prefer lime in my actual water. I also like, they have a, is it the clementine? There's a clementine one that's really good as well. Hey, Rebecca, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, I really enjoy the sparkling waters. This kind of feels like you're having a treat without the guilt. And I find them nice and refreshing. And then you can mix them in with other things. Sometimes my daughter will mix it in with she'll make like homemade lemonade or whatever and add in the sparkling water to it. So I think that adds a nice touch. And always makes, the drinks a little fancier. Sometimes you'll buy a bottle of wine and it's just not great. So sometimes I'll mix in a little sparkling water with it. Maybe like a sparkling, like I've done it with the, what was the orange one? I'm trying to remember which one I did it with. And I was like, oh, that's really good. So it just kind of added a little bit more flavor, and took a little, sometimes white wine every once in a while can just be a little too rough on it, right? Have I seen your new banner and avatar? I have not seen your new banner and avatar. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. It hadn't shown up on StreamYard yet. I have not. I will check it out though, Rebecca. I like your logo. That's super cute. That is really nice. Yeah, actually, when Jesse drops your link, I can click on it and then actually type in the word link. I don't know if Nightbot's here. I didn't log into Nightbot. I don't know. Do you have to log into Nightbot every time or not before you start your stream? I didn't even think about it. Let me see. I'll have to look it up now. No! Oh, sorry. I accidentally hit the no button. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, actually, okay, I'm a moderator. Am I a moderator? In my own channel? Does that work like that? Can I click on it? Oh, there we go. Thanks, Jesse. I'm like trying to figure out how to type it in. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, here. Let me share it. Hold on. Let's go. Window. Bum, bum, bum. Very nice, Rebecca. I like that. I love that shade of green too. That's really pretty. It's very calming. That is really cute. I like it. Very nice. Oh, see, Nightbot's, he's just been sleeping all night. He was here. He was here. Now let's see what the weather is here. Up in my weather. Very nice. You know who needs to work on a logo? This person needs to work on a logo. And if you need to order any like stickers or any merch stuff like that, sign up for Sticker Mule's email program, and then they send out like specials every week. They have some really good discounts on there. This week I almost convinced myself that I needed bubble mailers, but I don't. But it was such a good deal. I was like, that's like only like $2 a bubble mailer, and it's got your logo on it. But I didn't buy it. But I'll probably regret it at Christmas when I need a bunch of bubble mailers. And I was like, I could have been using my own with my name on them. Yeah, we are cool right now. We are cool. Look at that. It's 57 degrees outside right now. We're warming back up for the weekend, but we've got a hit. We're a bit cool right now. Weather for Columbia, 75. Yeah, that's a lot warmer. That's a lot warmer than we are right now. For sure. Like that's why I'm wearing like the long sleeve shirt. And I actually went to bed with like a long sleeve shirt on last night because I was like, "Ooh!" When I got upstairs, the window was open and I was like, "Ooh, it is kind of chilly in here." Normally I wouldn't wear long sleeves to bed. But I was like, "Oh, my shoulders." And I was like, "Nope, I'm cold." Oh, that is so nice. That is really, really sweet of them. Yeah, it turned out really good. I like that. That'll look really cute on a shirt as well, and make a nice sticker. That color, I love that color. The kind of a sage. Back to sage. It's like sage is very popular tonight. It's like some loud music playing outside all of a sudden. Barnstable, Massachusetts. 60 degrees. Ooh, you're a little bit warmer than me, but not by much. Current humidity is 50%. Where were we at? 67% humidity. Yeah, probably get some rain. Oh, my neck just cracked. I want to see Danny. Nicole, where's your weather? I want to see your weather. Type it in. Houston. Oh my God. Jesse was singing that song the other night on the road trip, and then it got stuck in my head all night. And I'm a huge fan of Dean Martin, but Sticker Mule. Yep. I did one of their specials where they printed out where is it at? I know it's over here somewhere. So I got it was 10 die cut stickers for $1 with free shipping. And then I think last week they did actually Danny at Wicked Awesome Gardening just ordered some stickers for $9. She had this like coupon code. That was a really, really cheap. So type in like Sticker Mule coupon codes too if you want to order it, or you can just wait. Like every week they have something different. They'll have different stickers. So sometimes, so I have these, the die cut, and then I also have like just the round ones that came on a roll. I think those ones were I paid I think I paid $20 for 50 of those or something. Like I think like with tax and everything, it came to that. And the thing with the specials is it usually comes with free shipping as well, which even to Canada, which that's awesome. Not a lot of stuff does free shipping to Canada. So I do like it, but yeah, definitely don't pay full price. Wait till you get a discount. And keep in mind, oh, what's the other one? There's another sticker one. And last year they had a screaming deal. Like the week before Black Friday. And I missed out on it because I was trying to get back with them because they only use UPS to deliver. And I refuse to use UPS in Canada because UPS charges like up to 50% of the purchase price in duty. So if I buy something, if I spend $50 on my stickers, I'm looking at taxes, and then I'm looking at like, I think it was something like $25 in shipping. And then I was looking at like another $25 just in brokerage fees, which UPS charges, but if you go through just the US Postal Service, they do not charge the brokerage fees. And so I was just like, I want to order this and I want this deal, but I do not want, and I couldn't find, and they said somewhere, they're like, if you don't want to use UPS and you want to use, just the US Postal Service, you can choose that option, but there will be no tracking on it. And if something goes wrong or gets lost, that's on you. And I'm like, I couldn't find the link for that. I couldn't find the thing to click off on having to pay for the other one. And so I sent an email to them, and I sent a message on Facebook and everything. And I didn't hear back from them for a few days. And then when they got back to me, they were like, oh yeah, sorry, the special's over. So I was a little cheesed off about that, but I will keep an eye to see if they have another good deal this, week leading up to. Yes, I know that there is Chit Chats. And I don't know. I'll have to double check, but I think you have to have a business account with Chit Chats. But the lady that I buy fabric from, she uses Chit Chats to ship her fabric out. And she actually did offer to let me use her corporate account one time years ago. So that is an option if I need for shipping stuff out. But yeah, for coming into Canada, like even just USPS is better than that, because I don't have to pay the duty and all that coming into Canada. So anyways, it's 9:38 and I am exhausted. It's been a busy day. The job we went to today ended up having to like paint the whole ceiling in a bedroom, and we thought that was just the bedroom that we were doing. And then we got there and there was the bedroom, and then two of the other rooms had small stucco repairs that we had to do as well. So we're like, what? So anyways, it all worked out. Traffic was a nightmare, but we came home and I made I was going to make tostadas, and then we ended up kind of folding them in half and eating them. So then I guess, what was it? Gordita? I don't know. But I did pan fry the flour tortilla and just tiny bit of oil in the pan, just not even enough to coat the pan. I was just rolling the pan around and just enough to barely coat the tortilla, but it crisped it up nicely. And then I added in leftovers. So we had leftover, just a little bit of roast left over, some beef roast. I chopped it up and put it in there with some mashed potatoes and some white kidney beans and a bunch of cheese, and then stuck it in with some lettuce. And I made a fresh pico de gallo with tomatoes and jalapeno from the garden. It was really good. So it was delicious and crispy and crunchy, and it was it made up for the long traffic. I was stuck in traffic, and I was like, I was actually kind of craving Chinese food lately. And then my husband was like, what about pizza? And I was like, I wasn't in the mood for pizza. And he's like, do we have any leftovers from the meat? And I was like, there's not much left. And I knew there was like half of one portion, and there's 3 of us. So I was like, I'll just throw it in a pan and add beans and cheese and some lettuce, and we'll throw it in a tortilla and make tacos out of it. But then I decided to fry up the tortillas, and It was very, very good. So you need a logo. Yes, you do. MT Homestead's really good with logos. He likes doing logos. If you're interested, I don't mind. I kind of like playing around with logos. But it took me forever to decide on my logo. But yeah, we could do a logo night. If you need help with a logo, send me an email. I can play around in Canva, but I only have the free Canva. But I do like playing around with it. If you want. Oh, and Rebecca, send me your email. I keep forgetting I was supposed to get it. And I know I have, your address. Email me your address. I know I have it somewhere, but I couldn't find it. I don't know where I wrote it down. Send it to me again, because you won some seeds in a giveaway. And I need to send those out to you. The Tasmanian chocolate tomato seeds that are amazing, by the way. So anyways, yes, thank you everyone for coming in tonight. Don't forget, Bland's Promised Land Ranch are live right now. So if you're not going to bed, you can head on over there and say hi to them and let them know I sent you over for a little love raid. I will see you all again here same time next week. So thank you so much for coming in, and adios. And I hope you had a good night and learned something tonight. I know I sure did. So thanks again and love you all. Good night. And here we go. There's the Bland's link. Whoop, is that it? Why isn't it showing up? There it is. You can hit that link right there and go on over and see Eric and Monica. Good night. I can never find the button.